This is the 2025 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 HD LT. Is it the perfect truck for you? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're back at Red River Chevrolet today in Bossier City, Louisiana to go over the particulars on this Lake Shore Blue with jet black interior Silverado. It also features the 6.6 gas burner V8 under the hood. Something I haven't shown very often, at least not in the last year or two with these trucks. So if this is something you're interested in, stay tuned. I'm going to give you all the details. If you want to know more about this particular truck, check out the link down in the description of the video. You can tell by the badging, this is going to be the Z71. There's your 6.6 liter badge. We'll also have the 10-speed automatic transmission, that Allison transmission. And here on the front end, you'll have your LED headlights. We're going to have LED daytime running lights, also our fog lights down there on the lower portion of the bumper. This is also the Trail Boss version, which means we're going to have those red tow hooks right there. And instead of a lot of chrome, for those of you that say, Tom, I'm not a big fan of chrome, you're going to have a lot more of the gloss black all over the truck as opposed to chrome. A little bit of chrome here with the surrounding on the Chevrolet badge. You will see the Chevrolet logo stamped right there. And in this case, we're going to have the 20-inch wheels. This truck is four-wheel drive, and there is a lot to talk about with our side view mirrors. Number one, you're going to have your exterior lighting. We can see the LED lights right there. I'm going to try not to blind you with those lights, hopefully. But you have those lights. These are heated, power adjustable side view mirrors. They're going to have blind spot monitoring built in right there. And last but not least, on those side view mirrors, when you push this button, that allows those mirrors to fold in. They're also going to be power folding, so quite a bit going on where the mirrors are concerned. And here is your remote for this truck. Lock, unlock, you have remote start. And since we don't have the multi-flex tailgate, you have the power down and power up tailgate back there. You can use the button for that and the panic button. I'll show you how that works when we get to that area of the truck. The only thing I do wish was different here, you have passive entry here on the front doors. You can lock and unlock all four doors using that button on the driver or the passenger side. But I also wish that button was here on the rear door handles. Why not? Just make things a little bit easier. You're going to have your steps right here that make it easier to get in and out of the truck. That's always going to be nice. Give you a look at the leaf springs and the shocks and suspension and everything that we have back here. We'll do the same with the front as best as we can, since we're trying to give equal time, just to show you what's going on here with this truck, maybe give you some views you don't normally see. I know it may not be the absolute best because, well, we're somewhat limited on our angles. We'll have the cab light up top, as you can see right there, and our in-bed lighting. And I can tell you, I own a GMC Sierra 2500, as I mentioned earlier in the video, and we're going to have the same lighting in this truck that we do in mine. That in-bed LED lighting does a fantastic job of illuminating the interior after dark. There is your Trail Boss logo. And we finish things off here with the nice bright tail lights. And we also have the light located right here. It's going to help you out in seeing after dark. Now, I'm going to hit the button right here to open our power tailgate. As you can see, that's opening right there. I just pushed the button twice. And to use the power function to bring the tailgate back up, we hit the button once, twice, and hold it down on the second push. Now, you don't have to hold it down the whole time, but if you hold it down before it's about halfway up, it will start coming back down. In case you ever have that problem, you'll know what's going on. And we'll have the bumper steps right here that make it a little bit easier to gain access to and from the bed of the truck. If you need to do the same thing here with the front portion of the bed, you have the bed steps. That's going to make it nice and easy to gain access to the front of the bed on your 2500. For those of you who are looking for an HD Silverado like this, but you're saying, Tom, I don't want the Duramax diesel under the hood, this is the truck for you. You're going to find the 6.6 liter V8. This is the gas burner. It makes 401 horsepower and 464 pounds-feet of torque. It's mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. The biggest difference that you're going to find with this truck when it comes to towing is that you will have to fill up more often than you would if you had the diesel engine under the hood. But for some people, that works. Something that won't change, no matter the engine combination that's under the hood, is that you're still going to have a 36-gallon gas tank. You can tow up to 18,500 pounds with this truck, and your max payload comes in at 3,426 pounds. You will find a power outlet right here that's going to come in very handy. There are a total of 12 tie downs, 3 in the front, 3 in the rear on both sides. I like that. The only difference you're going to find here compared to a truck that has the multi-flex tailgate on the Silverados is that it's not as easy to gain access deeper into the interior of the bed when you need to, because you can't lower this portion down. But for some people, they might say that's perfectly fine. No big deal. One of the big pluses for me personally is the fact that this truck comes with a bed liner. The interior has no shortage of space, whether it's in the front seat or the back seat. One thing you might also want to know about here is how you activate your child safety locks. When that button or switch is in the down position like that, you see the arrow right there pointing in that direction, that means they're active. When it's back up towards the lock right here, that means they're inactive. If you buy one of these trucks and you're out in the middle of nowhere and say, hey, I wonder how it feels to sit in the back seat of my new truck, make sure you unlock those if they're locked before you do that. Otherwise, you can crawl through the pass-through to get back to the front seat. Tons of room with the armrest and the door bin. Here is one of the mini bottle holders right here. There are bottle holders everywhere. Plenty of room under the seats. You can raise the seat cushions to help out with that. See if we can get that to go back down for us. And for me personally, one of my favorite features with these trucks is the in-seat storage. It's not only here on the driver's side, but also over there on the passenger side. It comes in very handy in a multitude of ways. It just helps me to have more storage space. I like that. I don't have to store as much, say, here in the rear seat pockets, although you have those on each seat. We have our rear window defogger and our power sliding rear window right there. Always easy to get in and out of these trucks because of the grab handle. We're going to reach right there, and I like the fact that there's one at all 4 doors. More bottle holders or cup holders, depending on what you want to call those. Right here on the rear of the center console, we have some USB connectivity, and we also have air conditioning vents. When the time comes that these Silverados are redesigned, I would love to see larger air conditioning vents for rear seat passengers. Tell me what you think about that. And we also have the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. And as I said, there is no shortage of space for your passengers back here. Something else that can come in very handy when you're out working, out on the trail, wherever you may be, and you don't want mud on your carpet. Well, these are actually inserts. They have the button on each corner right there. As you can see at all 4 corners, you can take that out when needed. Just makes life a little bit more simplified. When it comes to the passenger side, we'll have, again, plenty of room with the armrest, tons of room with the door bin, 2 bottle holders right here. And the passenger seat in this truck, this particular case, is going to be manually adjustable, but the good news, it is adjustable at least. And we're going to have storage on each side of the center console in this area. More storage with the glove box, the lower glove box, and we also have our upper glove box. And how about our animated graphics when we hop into the truck? I'll show you what goes on with both screens where that is concerned. A lot of people may not care about that, but some of you may want to know. You know what? It's here. It's something you're paying for, so you might as well know. How about the sticker price on this truck? It's still a lot, but in this day and age, it's fairly reasonable for what you get. $69,070. Let's see what else you're going to find with this truck. Now, I showed you the driver's side door here. On this particular model, we're just going to have the controls for our side view mirrors here and our windows. Obviously, you can lock and unlock the doors. There's your power parking brake and everything for managing your exterior lights. And this is your drive mode selector. Let's go through those drive modes just so you can see what's here. Now, you're going to start with normal, and then we go to off-road. Those are your driving modes. Those are the only modes you have. Now, we're going to have our steering wheel mounted controls. Everything for your cruise control will be right here. And then you can obviously use voice commands here. And when you look at the driver's display and you say, that just doesn't look the way I want it to. Well, it doesn't have to look that way. All I did was push the arrow right there. We can go to display layout. And there are quite a few options here that you can see. We're going to run through those real fast. As you can see, that's going to be progressive. And we go to digital. Let that come up, and we can also go to clean. Now, the good news is that this is not the only option. Now, I am going to go back to classic just to make this nice and simple. You can go back one more screen. You can adjust the left side, what's over there. You can also adjust the right side, the lower gauges, your info page options, units. You can see what all is here. There's quite a bit going on. And if you get to a point where you say, man, I just don't like that, let me just go back to what was there to begin with, you can reset to defaults. And then, again, we're just arrowing over right here. We can go through all sorts of information. You have your navigation right there. We can go through everything with the radio right there, as you can see. And we're back to our speedometer. Now, the one thing you didn't notice was that you didn't have a screen for diesel exhaust fluid. That is one advantage to having the gas burner under the hood here as opposed to the diesel engine that a lot of us have. Now, over here, we have the control for our turn signal indicators. There is no Surgeon General's warning that says using your turn signals or your blinkers is hazardous to your health, so make sure you do that. If you're wondering how to turn your auto high beams on or off, the button is right here. And this is how you run your windshield washer fluid. Now, there is a little trick I want to show you here. We're going to go back one screen and go to cameras right here because there's something very important that I want you to know about. If you ever look at the front of your truck and you see some kind of moisture up there on the grill and you know it isn't something that should be there, you're wondering what the heck happened. Well, I'm going to push the button to run the windshield washer fluid because when I do that, you also have your front camera washer that sprays windshield washer fluid across the front camera. So in case you ever run into that, now you know what's going on. Now, you will have your conventional style shifter right here. I've had a lot of people who tell me that this gets in the way of their screen. Now, for me personally, it is not an issue. It does block some of the buttons right here, but for me, I don't have any trouble seeing what I need to see on the screen. So that helps out quite a bit where that is concerned. You also have a manually adjustable, you got the release right down there that you can drop to adjust your tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. Here is our upper console. This is how we will open and close the power sliding rear window. All of your buttons for programming up to 3 garage doors. So you can open them by just pushing those buttons. That's very easy to do, and you can see what else we have up here in this area just to show you a little bit of what's going on. A little bit of storage above the 13.4-inch infotainment screen. A very easy screen to use. You have Google Assistant where you can say, hey, you know who, I don't want to set devices off in your house, so I won't do that right now. But there are practically endless commands you can give or questions you can ask. Now, you can't do things such as, say, adjust the air conditioning and stuff like that, but you can use voice commands to set up navigation, to find out how far away you are from a particular location. Whatever it is you want to do, you can do all those things. It's nice and easy. You have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which I know is probably hard to see on the screen right there, but it is here. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You have the Play Store if you want to add any apps that are available. And going back to our cameras, you have views everywhere on this truck. Our overhead view, we have our rear view, as you can see right there. We're also going to have our overhead views from the front and the rear. Your side view mirror cameras are going to be right here. That's going to be helpful. And then we also have ease and convenience as far as being able to hitch up to a trailer if you just want to see what is behind you. And there's one more view here. Notice that arrow pointing to the right? If you select that, you'll notice the bed cam can come up. When you make that selection, and if you need to zoom in, you can do that. So just one of those nice little features that's here among so many. And then we're going to have the ability to go home with the button right there, or you can select on the screen. Now, there are a few other things I want to show you here, something that I know a lot of people ask about. First of all, let's go here to Vehicle, and I'm going to show you how to set up your mirrors so that when you lock and unlock the truck, the mirrors either fold or unfold. How do you do that? You come right here to remote mirror folding. That's under comfort and convenience. Make sure that's checked to on just like that. If it's grayed out, that means that feature is not on, but you can turn it on. And something else that a lot of people like to know about, safety features, collision and detection systems. We have automatic emergency braking, front pedestrian braking, lane change alert, park assist. We'll have park assist tow bar and rear cross traffic alert. And when it comes to our switches down here, all of our different buttons, I think you know what everything is. You can see all of that right there. You can adjust the volume right there and turn the radio on and off. Everything here for controlling your trailer brakes. You can turn the engine on and off with the button right there. And we have dual zone climate control. You can adjust the fan speed and everything you need to where that is concerned. The only thing missing here is ventilated seats. I love ventilated seats. I also love that you have multiple auxiliary buttons right here. So you could set that up with all sorts of different things if you add exterior lighting or whatever it may be. There's a lot of options where that is concerned. Couple of USB ports right here. We'll also have plenty of space in that area in front of the cup holders. Plenty of room with the armrest or the center console lid that doubles as an armrest. And the tray right here is removable. That's nice to have. Let me get that out of the way so I can show you the interior of the center console. Tons of space. There is your wireless charging pad. Now I do want to show you something right here. There is our power outlet, and we have more USB ports. Have you noticed what is missing in the interior of this truck? No 12-volt power outlet. When I bought my GMC, I had to buy a a USB to 12 volt so I could power my dash cam. Just one of those things. There are a few different ways to get around that issue. All right, let's get out on the road for a test drive with this truck. A couple of things I didn't mention earlier in the video. You have a heated steering wheel. The driver's seat is power adjustable with lumbar support. And we'll also find that you don't have the auto stop start feature on these trucks. So for those of you that don't like that, which I can't blame you if you don't, well, then you don't have to worry about it here. Something else that I can't show you because we don't have a sunroof in this truck, so there's no way for me to actually mount the camera anywhere where you could easily see this. But I've had a lot of people in the past, before we had the current infotainment system, the current technology in this truck, who would say, how can I leave the camera on when I'm driving if I want to use that for whatever? I've had people ask about that. I'm sure there's different reasons why people may want that. Well, now you can. If you turn any of the exterior cameras on, they'll stay on while you drive. Always curious to know why people might want that, but that is something that Chevrolet changed as of this current generation of technology with these trucks. You have your built-in navigation. That's going to be here. It's going to be helpful to you. Obviously, you're going to have Google Maps. That's one reason why you can use Google Assistant to set everything up with voice commands. Very helpful where that is concerned. This truck has no trouble getting down the road whatsoever. Plenty of get up and go as far as the horsepower and the torque go. The 10-speed automatic transmission shifts very smoothly. And overall, for what it is, the truck rides very well for its size and its capabilities when you're not towing anything or hauling anything that's really heavy in the bed back there. And the truck is so easy to see out of. That's one of my favorite things about these 2500 HDs is how easy they are to see out of when you're driving down the road. But keep in mind, you have all those great safety features that make things even better. You have your blind spot monitoring built into those side view mirrors. Overall, a very enjoyable truck. The driver's seat is very comfortable, and I can tell you from my own truck, this is the same interior that my truck has, so I can tell you that it is super comfortable on a long road trip. With the 36-gallon gas tank back there, or in my case, fuel tank, you can go a long way on a single tank. A lot of conveniences that come with these 2500 Silverados. And there it is, the 2025 Chevrolet Silverado 2500 HD, the LT trim level with the gas burner under the hood as opposed to the diesel option. Is it the right truck for you? Tell me what you think down in the comment section. What is it missing if you think it's missing anything at all? I'm always curious to receive your feedback. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Red River Chevrolet for loaning me this truck for the day so I could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to me. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And if you would, please share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. If you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.